things we offer is credit remediation, micro mortgage financing, down payment assistance, credit builder assistance, and agent matching. Tonight's topic is home ownership and creating a healthy mindset with our guest speaker, Ms. Kenya Hawkins. Here's a little bio about her. Kenya X. Hawkins inherited her passion for real estate from her grandparents, Alexandra James and Ruby Rose Harris, both of whom were well respected in the Hyde Park neighborhood for their keen real estate investments. Her vision is to educate and ensure each client is equipped with knowledge and resources to achieve home ownership. She holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration from Alcorn State University in Mississippi, as well as dual master's degrees in business administration and mental health counseling from National Louis University. Becoming a real estate broker with exit strategy, realty is aligned with her dedication to health, wellness, charity, community, personal finance, and of course, real estate. Kenya's mission is to apply more than 15 years of experience in customer service, counseling, and business management to provide you with a memorable and insightful home ownership journey. So without further ado, our guest speaker, Ms. Kenya Hawkins.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that introduction. I'm very, very, very happy to be here with you all tonight. I just want everybody to relax. If you got your tea, your coffee, your pop, whatever, just relax. But I will encourage you to, if you have pen and paper, if you have some crayons or something around, because we're going to do a little activity throughout this, like I say, around the middle of the presentation, we're going to do an activity. So let's have fun, relax, and enjoy. Sorry about that. I'm sorry, guys. Bear with me. Now all of a sudden I can't find. The slideshow. Okay, here we go. Gotta love technology. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. So home ownership and creating a healthy mindset. My name is Kenya Hawkins, and I am the queen of real estate visioning. So just to tell you a little something about myself, that was a wonderful introduction. But yes, I am a broker with Exit Strategy Realty. I am a resident of Hyde Park. I have grown up in Hyde Park all of my life, graduate of Kenwood Academy, and I'm a third generation real estate visionary. As she said, my grandparents first introduced my family and I to Hyde Park. My grandmother was very, very intelligent, only had a high school education, but my grandmother purchased her first, well, my grandmother and my grandfather purchased their first property in Hyde Park, actually at 53rd and Woodline. And at that time, there weren't many families of color that resided in Hyde Park. And once my grandmother and grandfather put their roots in Hyde Park, they purchased several other properties throughout Hyde Park, which has sustained our family and continues to. And did somebody say something? And I see home ownership for you. So what we're going to talk about tonight is creating a healthy mindset, because home ownership is all about a healthy mindset. So tonight conversation is home ownership and creating a healthy mindset. As she shared with you guys earlier, I have a mental health background. So we're going to go through the Maslow hierarchy of needs. and I'm going to break them down. And these are the Maslow hierarchy of needs listed right here. So it's physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. Because what I want us to understand is a lot of us think that we're not ready for home ownership, and I don't believe that's true. I just think that we have to create a healthy mindset to get accustomed to home ownership, and then we'll thrive as being homeowners and investors. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the creator of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is Abraham Maslow. And he believed that human beings, these are the needs that we need in order to thrive. So I'm going to start from the bottom to the top. So first, we're going to go through physiological needs, which is of air. We all need air, water, food, shelter. And I'm focusing on shelter. And to change the term shelter, we're going to use home ownership tonight because we are all homeowners and that's what we're all aiming for. Sleep, clothing, and reproduction. And going from the bottom to the top, we have safety needs, personal security, employment, resources, health, property. And we have love and belonging, friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection, esteem, respect, self-esteem, status, recognition, strength, and freedom. And the highest level is self-actualization, desire to become the most that one can be. So I'm going to share with you how I use my Maslow's hierarchy of needs and apply it to home ownership, because home ownership supplies all of these that are listed in the Maslow hierarchy of needs. So physiological needs. We talked about food, water. We're going to say home ownership, sleep, and excretion. So this is an interactive presentation. So if you have a comment, just please be respectful when you make your comment, or if you have any questions, but we'll also have time for questions. But first and foremost, home ownership provides the ultimate shelter for you. It's your home. You can do what you want with it. It provides you with a great space. You can set your space how you need to meet these physiological needs, which would be definitely being able to sleep and rest in a home that's your own. You don't have to worry about whether or not, for example, if you are renting, whether or not the next month, will you have a lease? Will you be able to renew your lease? Home ownership gives you the opportunity and the flexibility to know that at the end of the day, this is your home and you have the rights to do what you choose to do with it. Safety needs. So with the safety needs, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into the nuts and bolts, and we're going to tie this again to home ownership. But we also want to be realistic, healthy and realistic. So for safety needs, that's a sense of security of self, job security, health security, and safe environment. And in the home ownership process, this is a part where most people get a bit fearful, because this is where you get a real look at where you are financially. It could bring up some emotions as to even financial decisions that you've made, and it can challenge you to change some habits that can be counterproductive or habits that are productive that you would like to maintain. So with safety needs, we look at debt to income ratio. So when you are in the home ownership process, when you are looking at a home, you will work with the lender because you have to get a pre-approval, and we'll talk about this a little later. But in the pre-approval process, we look at your I wouldn't look at your debt to income ratio, but a lender would look at that. And what a debt to income ratio is how much debt do you have compared to your income. Also, when you're looking at your safety needs and being realistic in regards to home ownership and preparing yourself for home ownership, because remember, this is a mindset. We're creating a mindset. Do you budget? Have you ever used the budget? This is something that if you are looking at purchasing a home, that you should really look into and really start applying to now. And lastly, are you saving? Typically, the rule of thumb is that you should save 10% of what's coming in of your income. You should always pay yourself first. So think about that as you are creating a healthy mindset. Are you saving? And it's something that you can start doing immediately. Even if it's something as simple as if you want to start couponing. Couponing is a great way to start increasing, more money coming in as opposed to going out. It can be tedious, but I just wanted to give you an example of the small things that you can do. And also too, what I see a lot when working with clients is the entertainment. I know we might not think that Netflix and Hulu and all these other social media platforms or entertainment, going out to eat, now that we're pretty much a bit more relaxed with COVID, but looking at your cost as to what's going out and what's coming in, these are the small things that sometimes will create a hurdle for someone that is trying to purchase a home. So that's why now we're going through what you can do in creating a healthy mindset to prepare yourself for when you are speaking with your lender, because you've started to put great practices in place. Belongingness and love. So in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, belongingness and love supplies us. That's something that we strive on as being human beings. But also too, in home ownership, you get to create strong bonds and loving relationships, especially depending on the neighborhoods that you choose and what you bring to your neighborhood. So that can be community relationships. You know, if you are looking, it doesn't matter if you're within the city of Chicago or not, there are community relationships. You have your park districts. You have where you can implement block clubs, where you can bring that togetherness to your community, where you can create those strong bonds. And also you're among fellow homeowners. So therefore, 9 times out of 10, a majority of you all, you share the same interests. You want to make sure that your area is clean. You want to make sure that you're working with local elected officials to ensure that the neighborhood is kept up. And also too, when neighborhoods are kept up and thinking about home ownership, because it's also an investment, you want to look at how the neighborhood is kept and how your neighbors are keeping their properties and how you create your property. Because in any situation, in any relationship, belongingness and love is always what we bring to it. So in thinking of becoming a homeowner, this is the one thing that people typically don't think about. It's what of an asset you will be to the community that you are purchasing a home in. And again, Maslow's hierarchy of needs and creating a healthy mindset, belongingness and love needs supplies us and it helps us elevate to that highest level. So right now, what you can start doing is, even if you are renting right now or you're staying with relatives, think about what you bring to the environment that you live in. What are you doing currently in your community? Do you know your neighbors? Do you even speak to your neighbors? How do your neighbors address you? You know, what are you bringing to the block? Is there something that you see the block needs that you can contribute? Oftentimes, some people who are renters or just there, you know, passing by, don't think about that. But this is a great way to prepare you for home ownership, as to figuring out ways and coming up with ways now to implement, so that when you do join your neighborhood, that you are bringing that belongingness and love needs to your relationship. And you would also have some experience as well. Esteem needs. Respect, self-respect, community, neighbors, and real estate. Home ownership brings a great level of respect. It shows that you understand real estate. It shows that you have made some great financial decisions along the way. And it shows that you are responsible. And home ownership, you know, it brings a level, it does bring that respect. I mean, you can be out hanging out and it just gives you that confidence to say, I am a homeowner. And not to necessarily say that you wouldn't have that confidence whether you're a homeowner or not, or you wouldn't gain self-respect. But being able to say that you're a homeowner and be able to express that in what you do and how you move throughout your life brings great respect. And it also shows that you have a respect for real estate and you understand that real estate is an investment. And you also understand that your community is an investment. And when you have that self-respect, one for yourself and the self-respect of others, it does supply your esteem needs. Again, a good reputation, like we talked about earlier, taking pride in ownership, making sure that your property is well maintained. If there's a block club and they have rules, that you are adhering to the rules. You always want a reputation as a good neighbor, because not only do we want you to be a homeowner, but we also want you to become an investor. And whether you believe it or not, people do their work. And I'm here to tell you, word of mouth, a good reputation travels faster than any social media, Facebook platform that you've ever seen. You never know who you will meet again. So you always want to carry yourself in a very respectable way, and having a good reputation, especially when it comes to home ownership and being within communities and able to navigate different communities, is key. And lastly, self-confidence. You've accomplished your goal of home ownership. You did everything you needed to do. Just being able to show that sign and your closing and take that picture that says closed, sold, is the best self-confidence you could ever get. And that's what I definitely want for everyone on this call. And I definitely would love to assist you with that. But esteem needs right here, again, in creating a healthy mindset, you can start doing this right now, like we talked about earlier. If you're in a neighborhood, if, for example, there is a lot of litter in a lot of neighborhoods, you can start picking that up. Create a cleaning green, get people out. If there's an elderly person on your block, go check in on that. Go check in, say hello. Make your presence known and building up that good reputation. Because also too, in looking for home ownership, we have a system that we use called the multiple listing service. But a lot of great homes that I see clients get just come from, at one point, they were living on that block. They were renting in a 2-flat next door to a bungalow that became available. The people were so enamored by the presence that they bought to the block. Before they listed their house, you will have people that will come up to you and say, hey, I'm getting ready to sell my house. I like the way you carry yourself. You have a good reputation. We respect you. And they would even more than likely sometimes give you a great deal on a house if they see in the manner that you carry yourself. And this is the highest. This is self-actualization. This is your home. So as you see, I have this beautiful brick bungalow. Just throwing that out there. I love bungalows and they're very historic within the city of Chicago. But after you've created all of this healthy mindset, you've done all of the work, this is the ultimate goal that I want for you. I see home ownership for you. This is your home. This is your dream home. And this is where we want you to be and continue to be and have multiple houses. But first, like I talked about, it's all about creating that healthy mindset. So what I want to do right now is first, let's take a pause. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes, thank you so much, Ms. Hawkins, for that great information. We do have a question. One of the questions are, if you are fearful of the home ownership process, what is the best way to get over that fear?
So that's what we're going to do in our next activity. But to answer that question, fear and faith can't live in the same spaces. So it's all about just doing it. But I want to also answer that question with the question, what is the fear? Is it the responsibility? Is it credit health? What's the fear?
Thank you so much, Ms. Hawkins. We do have another question as well. It's saying, what are good budgeting tips? And it's from Ms. Hudson. So Ms. Hudson, if you want to unmute yourself, you can.
Hello, everyone. I'm Whitney
Good evening.
Hudson. What are some good budgeting tips? Because I keep telling myself I'm on like a retail diet. So I keep trying to buy stuff and I'm like, nope, I don't need it. What I want more, my house, or do I want them shoes more? So it's hard. It's a struggle. And I know you talk about the whole entertainment thing. Because I'm a small business owner and I go to a lot of networking events, and sometimes those things cost. So
Yes, they do.
would that so would you recommend?
You got muted. Hello?
Ms. Hudson, if you can unmute yourself.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Would that be necessarily entertainment, or would that actually be like a part of like budgeting?
So first and foremost, let me say I'm not a financial planner, but I do understand wanting to network and having a small business, because I'm doing that too. So what I like to do is I look into group rates. So with me being a broker with Exit Strategy Realty, we get group rates for a lot of events. I definitely take advantage of the group rates. And also, I talked about paying yourself first, that 10%. I've also created a budget for me that's just branding. So I put money aside for branding. And like you said, when you are thinking about, do you want their shoes or do you want your business? That's a great way too. And as much as I am not great at Excel, I have a friend who was excellent at Excel, and she sent me a spreadsheet for Excel. So I literally plug in what my bills are now and look at what's coming in and start looking at creating a budget that way. And just know that this is a new habit that you're creating. So it's not going to be perfect. Don't look for perfect, but just start making small changes where you can. And that's also a part too of creating a healthy mindset, because, they say it takes 30 days to change a habit. Well, if this has been a bad habit for, let's say, over 10 years, let's be realistic. Is that really going to change in 30 days? So I would just say make baby steps, like start with the entertainment. Maybe you can attend 2 to 3 networking events a month. Maybe you just have to pick one. So what I do is, first and foremost, I look for FREE. I look for everything that's free that I can do to brand myself. Go through your phone. We all have these smartphones and over 100 contacts. Start going through your phone, looking at the contacts. Who knows somebody that can get you in, or who knows somebody that can get you a discount? Now, we don't want to be insulting when asking for discounts, but people will definitely give you a discount and barter services. Maybe it's someone who can benefit from whatever service you offer, and then you guys can barter services. But in regards to budgeting, I would definitely say find yourself some time to sit down and write down everything you're spending. Look at your bank statements, go through your bank statements, see what you can eliminate. I've had to do this several times. It's a very humbling and sobering experience, but for the end goal to be home ownership, it's well worth it, because property acquires equity. Your property, depending on what you buy it at, if you buy it and the property has equity, or just the fact that this is your home, and eventually you can use that to really do so much. I would say to look at things like that. What's your end game? And start now creating that mindset and implementing these small steps that I've told you, and utilize My Turn to Own. They have great programs that could assist you with budgeting. But I would just say, again, I'm not a financial planner, just sharing with you some of the things that I've done and encourage people to do, and it works. But at the end of the day, be patient with yourself, because you are changing a mindset and habits that you've adopted for years. And probably 9 times out of 10 in mental health, they're generational. They've been passed down.
Thank you. I appreciate the advice.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Do we have any more questions?
I don't see any more questions right now, Ms. Hudson.
Okay, so I would not be the queen of real estate visioning if I did not have you guys do a real estate visioning exercise. So what I want you guys to do is grab, if you have pens, paper, pencils, I want you to grab it. And I want you to take some time to write out your dream house and make a quick sketch of it. And if people, I would love for everyone to share, what they come up with, what they're thinking about. I want you to think about your price point, but let's be realistic. So why don't I just set a price point and say, we're going to go with 200K. So that's $200,000. You've been pre-approved for a home for $200,000. So what would you like to get with your $200,000? Would you like a single family home? Would you like a co-op? Would you like a condominium, or would you like a multi-unit? So a condominium and a co-op are pretty much the same. It's where, well, a co-op is where you're purchasing shares in a building, and a condominium is you have title and ownership of that actual unit. So I'm going to give you guys, let's say it is 6:29. Give you about till 6:33, but just, take your time and just vision. And even if it's what do you need to do to create a healthy mindset to get to home ownership? Like, for example, Whitney, thank you for those questions. Is it implementing a budget? Is it putting more money aside where you can do networking? Do you need to cut back? Are you spending too much money with your clothing? Are you spending too much? Are you eating out every day? Think about what you need to do to get to your dream house. So I'm going to give the instructions again. So this is where we are visioning, because you are with the queen of real estate visioning. So just grab your paper, pens, pencils, and think about what you would like your dream house to be. So you've been pre-approved for 200K, that's $200,000 to purchase a home. So I want you to make a quick sketch of it. Think about, do you want a single family home, a multi-unit? Do you want it to be brick? Do you want a lot of sunlight? Because when we're visioning and manifesting, we have to be very specific, because there's power in when you're doing that. Be very specific. And also too, what do you need to create a healthy mindset to get this home? I want you to put that down too. Is it cutting back on some of your expenses? Do you need to stop eating out? Are you spending too much money on clothes? Is it too much going out for entertainment? How can you be a great neighbor? What are you going to do when you get this dream home? All those things we talked about earlier, using Maslow hierarchy of needs. How will this home supply those for you? Okay, so let's see, it's 6:34. Do you guys want more time?
Ms. Hudson, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
All right, so this was kind of easy for me because I already been doing this for a long time. Like to hype myself up to like keep going and trying to get myself together to prepare for home ownership. I will always do shopping on like Home Depot. I think it's called May something. Um Anything where I could do shopping like floor planning and things like that, looking at backsplashes and things of that nature. So my dream house at 200K will be a 2-flat, livable, and I want to turn the first floor into a duplex. So I want to connect the first floor and the basement so I could live there and have my tenant upstairs. I want a laundry hookup and an enclosed back porch, whereas my tenant will be able to use it. Also, I charge them like $2 a wash or something like that. I want an island in the first floor apartment kitchen, and I want big windows because I want to be able to get natural light. I want a 2-car garage, a big backyard, enclosed back porches, and a small garden area because my daughter likes to plant. I want nice yard furniture because eventually I would like to get a fire pit dug out in the backyard. I want wooden floors in both units, modern cabinets with metal handles in the kitchens, and blue backsplash in both kitchens. And I'm undecided about what I want to do with the bathroom. I would like to have 3 bedrooms on both floors, but I'm willing to like change one of the bedrooms up on the first floor into probably like a closet or office or something, because like I got a lot of shoes. So that way, like whoever takes over the first floor duplex when I leave, it'd be worth it because the lower level I have a bedroom in it as well. Some things I'm trying to cut down to get this in order. I'm trying to cut down eating out because I work and I always travel back and forth from my job to working from home. And if I feel rushed, either I won't eat or I stop and buy food. So I have to get back in the habit of cooking at home. I've been doing pretty good on my retail diet. I feel like God knows I need to get my building. He knows this is something I really, really want. But anytime I've been trying to buy anything, it's been sold out. And I'm like, that's just God blocking me because he knows what I need and knows what I really want. Like my real heart's desire. It's not really those shoes or them purses. It's my building that I've been trying to prepare myself for mentally and keep working on keeping my credit utilization below 30 so my credit score could continue to go up, and working on my business that helped also because I could eventually use that as collateral towards my building as well. Okay, that's it. If y'all
Oh,
have any suggestions, y'all can let me know.
I mean, that was phenomenal. To be honest with you, I'm gonna give you my email address so you can send me that so I can add that to my vision board. That was
Thank you.
amazing.
I can show y'all my vision board. I actually got my building on my vision board.
That's
Like
exactly that was my next question.
I got my building and my dream kitchen and everything. Like that's how I keep myself motivated to do it. I just, instead of trying to shop for shoes and stuff, I just like, okay, let me look at stuff for my building that I'm getting. Let me look at flowers. Let me look at a refrigerator. Let me look at furniture. Let me look at flooring. Like just to kind of, give myself that motivation push.
Yes, that was amazing. That was really, really, really good. The only
Thank
feedback I would
you.
say to you is remove trying from your vocabulary. You're not trying, you're doing it. So
Thank you.
take that out of your vocabulary because that was a very, very, very detailed description of the home that you want in a building. And you're thinking about creating income, which is great because always having income coming into a property is great. and you thought about the layout, very detailed. So I say that is amazing. That was some dope work you just did, and keep doing it. Keep looking at that vision board, keep manifesting, working on your credit, and you will definitely have that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Would anyone else like to share? Okay, so if no one else would like to share, yes, Miss Hudson did that, Sade. Yes, she did. So we'll move on. So I know a lot of you guys are thinking, what can you do now to start your home ownership vision and process? So definitely, if credit health is something that you are concerned about, I would definitely say start working with a financial planner. I believe My Turn to Own has those resources for you. They can definitely point you in the right direction. Definitely a credit healthy mindset, because in the home ownership process, unless you're purchasing with cash, 9 times out of 10, you're going to work with the lender, and the lender is definitely looking at your credit. So definitely start looking at your credit. Everyone should always know what is on their credit. Again, I'm not a financial planner, but you should not be shocked as to anything that's on your credit. So you can obtain your credit report from several different sites. There's Credit Karma, or you can just go to the credit reporting agencies, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, and you can order your report. I encourage everyone to get a full detailed credit report so that you can see what is on your credit report. And just really understand your credit, and if there are things that need to be addressed, work with someone who is certified, who is legit, who can assist you with sustaining your credit health and improving your credit health. And again, savings. In purchasing a home, there are some things that are not covered in the loan. Sometimes it could be closing costs. It can be earnest money. Earnest money is money that you will put up as a down payment for your home. The inspections, when you have submitted an offer on a property, that's part of the home purchasing process. There's an inspector that comes out to look at the property, and as well as attorney fees. There are several programs out there that can assist you with that. But just as to what you can start doing now and creating that healthy mindset, these are the quick 3 that came to my mind, because typically these are the 3 that sometimes impede the home purchasing process. And knowing your dream home, like Ms. Hudson, property requirements. Do you want a single family? Do you want a multi-unit? Do you want a condominium? Do you want a co-op? But also too, this is where we have to be self-aware. So if you are someone who has a large family, in the summertime, Frankie Beverly and Maze is blaring, y'all got the car parties. Co-op living, condominium living might not be for you, because they come with a lot of rules and regulations. So you might want to think about that. A single family though, how long are you going to be in this property? Because 9 times out of 10, when you're going through a lender, you might end up with a 30-year mortgage. So you're going to be there for a minute. Are you really in love with this space? Do you see yourself being in this space for a long time? Do you like your neighborhood? Have you driven the neighborhood? Have you driven during the daytime? Have you also gone at night? It's getting warm outside. So now is the time to really go around and drive through these neighborhoods. And now that I'm looking at this, I also want to throw this out there: property taxes. What do you want to pay in taxes? Research the taxes. This is also where your real estate broker would assist you, but also in knowing, you do your research too. What are the property taxes in the area? If it's a condominium or co-op, what are the assessments? How often are the assessments going up? Is there a special assessment? So assessments, for lack of better words, it's similar to rent. But with a condo or a condominium, you will always pay assessments. And a special assessment kicks in if there's not enough money in the reserves to fix something that is going on with the condominium or in the co-op building. So just think about that. With your multi-units, are you going to live in a multi-unit? You know, what type of tenants do you want in your multi-unit? What are going to be the rents for your multi-unit? So think about that when you are visioning your dream home. You want to be very specific. What is your price point? The pre-approval is going to tell you what you qualify for, and be realistic with that. You know, sometimes you'll have clients that say, well, I was pre-approved for 200, but the house is 230. I want to come up with the other 30,000. You know, is that coming up with the other 30 or coming up with an additional 5? Is that going to put you in a bind? Are you going in already in a bind? Think about that. And again, willingness to live in one place. You're going to be here for a while. Is this the place that you really want? Even if you have to go back and look at this place 2 and 3 times, is this the place that you really want? And I have to share a funny story right here. So recently I was looking at a house, and for a lack of a better term, I was ready to purchase. But after going back a couple of times, and I even took my mom, I took my family with me, and they were like, Kenya, come on. So are you really going to want to be here for a long time? And just being honest with you, I was just thinking, I was looking at what was in front of me. So I'm saying that to say, even with the experience and the knowledge that I have and looking at my family purchase properties, you know, you just something in the home and looking at home, sometimes you can just get taken away just with the experience. So think about that mindset. Think about, is this somewhere that you want to be for the next 30 years? And not only that, you know, are you going to be able to sell it, you know, resell it? You know, is this going to become an investment property? You know, really understand, like Ms. Hudson, she had it fully detailed out. What is your vision for this home? And not only that, are you getting what you want out of the home? Is this home going to supply your hierarchy of needs? And is it going to supply your family's needs? So home ownership, let's get ready. So I want you to decide whether you're ready to buy a home. Again, decide whether you're ready to buy a home. Not if people are telling you you should buy a home. Not if everyone is telling you, oh, you shouldn't be renting. You just throwing away your money. I don't believe that. That's not necessarily true. I believe that we are at places in our life, and at times that's where we have to be. So if renting is where you have to be for the short term, that's where you have to be. But home ownership, again, it's a mindset. If there are some things that you notice about yourself that you need to change and that you need to improve before purchasing a home, it's okay to do that. So decide when you're ready to purchase the home. Again, credit health. I cannot stress that enough. Make sure that your credit health is in the best health. And if it's not, you are working, you know, in mental health, we love to say treatment plans, that you got a treatment plan to get your credit health together. And lastly, that pre-approval. Once you get your credit health together, work with you a lender, and then they will assist you with the pre-approval process so that you know what you're looking for. You've both looked at your finances, what you can afford, and that will help you to navigate your home ownership process. So this is me, the queen of real estate visioning. So I do speaking engagements. So I am willing to, if you want to do a dream home vision board, you want to have your crew over or whatever, or even if you just want to connect with me and say, hey, let's talk about it, I am here for you. That's what I love to do. This is my thing. I believe in visioning. We have to speak it into existence. And also, I have an event coming up April 11th. We see home ownership for you. These are some phenomenal women that I've partnered with. Miss Savannah Hunt, she's a mortgage broker with Guaranteed Rate. And Saida Coleman, she's a credit consultant with New Life Consulting Services. We have this event at Two Fish Crab Shack. Two Fish, this is a community initiative. They are opening their doors on a day that they are typically closed. For us to come in, and we're going to do vision boards in person. So Ms. Hudson, I know you are a vision board, you got yours ready, but if you want to come on out, please do. And everyone else on the call, please come out. It's no charge. We're going to have fun. We're going to talk about home ownership and just everything related to the home ownership process. and finding the right real estate agent. But if you're on this call, you've already found the right real estate agent, which is me, Kenya Hawkins, the queen of real estate visioning. So here is my contact information. And I see home ownership for you. So if you are interested, or even if you just have any further questions, I believe in sharing information. So definitely reach out to me. There's all of my contact information, and they'll also be providing my contact information after the presentation. And that is it. So if you like, we can open it back up for any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Hawkins. You gave a great presentation with great
Thank
information. I do have a comment. It say my greatest accomplishment was getting over the good times just getting by renting mentally and jumping. What I found out that it didn't take much more than overcoming a fear and re-educating myself.
Yes, absolutely. And you did it at your pace. Thank you, Sean, for the phenomenal presentation. Thank you very much. The information on the 11th, I will go back to that. And I know it says register via Eventbrite, but just come on out and show up. We got plenty of space.
Ms. Hudson asks if you can please drop it in the chat so they can copy it.
Sure, I will definitely do that. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can do that.
And I do have another question. Chef Lee asks, what are some do's and don'ts that we should be mindful not to make mistakes on steps for buying a home?
What are some do's and don'ts? Stick with your budget. If you are pre-approved for a certain amount, stick with that pre-approved amount. I see a lot of deals get killed in the process because people will go out and make purchases like cars, co-signing for a car, going and using your credit card. Those are things that I would not encourage you to do because that impacts your debt to income ratio. And they will definitely run your credit again prior to closing. And that will kill a lot of deals. So that would be my don't. Even when you are starting the home buying process, because you've got your credit health healthy, right? And sometimes that's just like, oh my God, I got this credit. Let me go charge this. No, do not do that. There are healthy ways to utilize your credit. I don't encourage you to go out and make great purchases. And like I talked about and just shared with my story, patience, you really have to be patient. You really have to know what you want. And it's just like going in a grocery store and you don't have that grocery list. Everything is going to look good to you. So definitely think about what you want and what's your end goal. And the home buying process is not an overnight process. And just really take your time. And when looking for a real estate broker, think about the energies and what you bring to the relationship and what type of broker that you would want to work with. Do you want someone who's very direct? Do you want someone that's going to take you out and drive you around to every property? What kind of customer service are you looking for in a real estate broker? And be very transparent about that. But also too, what I see clients do a lot is they'll try to work with 2 and 3 agents. Think about that in respect to that agent's time and the commitment that they are making to you. And shop around for agents. Again, this is a very, very big purchase. It's an investment. Look at it as an investment. It's an investment in yourself more than anything. So I would say those are the 3 do's and don'ts that I would encourage someone in a home buying process. And also too, if it's a property that needs updating, be realistic about whether or not, if that's even a task that you want to take on. Do you want a turnkey? Do you want a property that you can just go into and put your furniture down and that's it? If this is a property that's going to need a lot of work, where are you going to stay while the work is being done? Do you want to put the investment in doing the work? Things like that. Definitely the neighborhoods. There are a lot of up and coming neighborhoods. Well, do you want to, are you cut out for that? Is that, do you have the patience for that? How do you want to live? Is it suburban living? Is it quiet? And think about how you enjoy your space.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hudson. Ms. Hawkins, I'm sorry. We do have another question. Mr. Albert, if you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Great job, Ms. Hawkins.
Thank you.
I'm just figuring how can we just get more like creative in our communities that really just to get our people motivated just to just think about just buying these homes. And you're doing a phenomenal job. And I made that comment. A lot of us, we get stuck in that just good times mentality. And we just can get by. And that's something that I had to break in my family because I'm the baby and I never had a bed. It's 6 of us. I just never had a bed. I just always told myself, I got to break that mentality. And I got a nephew that I've been trying to encourage for the last year. This kid got maybe like a 750 credit score. Him and his mom, they paying like $1,200. I'm telling him, I'm like, man, kid, you paying more than my mortgage. That's what my taxes included. And he's like, he ready, but then and I know we got to do it at our terms, but I'm just like, man, how can we just really get them excited about this process? I really wish he was on his line today. And that's what I said. Just like we just feel like we just in that mode where we just got to get by. We just got to get by. And sometimes that's killing our community. I just feel that way.
Whitney so said, bring him to the event. Thank you, Whitney. No, but Al, to answer your question, it's just platforms like this, My Turn to Own. I'm so grateful and thankful for the opportunity to share this information. So definitely agencies like My Turn to Own. And also too, again, it's a generational mindset, understanding that you can own a home. And also too, I've seen, again, I'm not a financial planner, but I've seen where some families, they've started savings where everyone in the family puts in and helps someone to get a property. So I've seen where a family of, they all put in, they went to the bank, they opened up an account, and every month everybody had to contribute $100. And this is how this family has been able to purchase property. They all made sure that everybody had their great credit. Sometimes, if you're trusting of a family member, you can also go in with them to get pre-approved for them to purchase a property, and you can be added to the property. So it's just a lot of ways, but also too, it's just talking, just having a conversation. And again, we love to say, oh, you shouldn't rent what you paying in rent, you can pay a mortgage, but for some people, that's just where they are, and that's right. Okay. But helping them to get a plan, even if it's a short term, a long term, just helping them to develop a plan and get their mindset out of, I don't want to say it's out of anything, but just to encourage them and teach them how to save, teach them how to get their credit, and honestly, take them to open houses, depending on what community you in. If you know your community, drive around. Chicago has 77 neighborhoods. Has any of us ever visited all 77 neighborhoods? Like, look at the neighborhoods, look at the buildings, just get them to appreciate the architecture. And, it's baby steps, but that would get them in the mindset of saying that one day they can own something like that. But I just really think it's education and, pooling our resources together.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hawkins. I do have another hand raised. Ms. Clark, if you can unmute yourself.
Good evening, everybody. My question is that I have not started a home buying process, but I have been trying to. Well, I've actually did a pretty good job at getting my credit where it's much better.
Mhm.
But I just refinanced my son's car that's in my name. I wanted to know if that has any stipulations. Will that stop anything if I haven't did a new loan? It's the same loan, but I just refinanced.
So I'm not a financial planner or credit expert, but yes, that refi is going to show up on your credit. So I would recommend you speak with someone that really deals with credit so they can share with you how that, if that has a positive or negative impact on your credit. But yes, that is going to show as a line item on your credit. So, and you said that you haven't started the home ownership process yet?
No, ma'am, I haven't. I've been pre-approved from years ago, but I didn't move forward with that. But I
Okay.
am ready to do it again.
Okay. So definitely you can, if you would like, you can get my contact information and we could talk about that and
Okay.
get you we can route you to a lender uh, to see what you are pre-approved for and if there are some things that you need to improve.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Thank you so much to everyone on this call. Thank you so much to you, Miss Kenya Hawkins. You did such a great job with encouraging us, really getting us to envision our homes. I just feel so good coming off this call,
I'm
and
glad.
oh, absolutely. And also, please check out our Instagram and Facebook. We will be sharing her information on those events. And yes, she just sent the Eventbrite too. So please go ahead and check out that event too. Again, thank you so much for My Turn to Own from our amazing staff here at My Turn to Own, all the way to our partners. We see that we have Miss Deborah on the line too. Thank you so much for coming through. But it is 7 o'clock, so we're gonna go ahead and end it. We want to respect everybody's time. Again, thank you all for being here and investing in your time this evening. And you guys have a great night.
You too. Thank you all again. Have a wonderful evening.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good
Good night,
night. Thank
everybody.
you.